What's up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 472. Whoa, fuck me. There's so much going on in this chapter, man. I don't know where to start, but I think I'm going to start with what Oda wrote in the Q&A session he has with the readers. And what he said in response was, one of the readers was like, hey, I noticed in chapter 460 that Nico Robin stopped referring to Nami as navigator. She called her Nami. What does that mean? And Oda said, well, I like to focus on the little small things because it builds human relationships and it's a very integral part of the story. And I'm going to tell you something, right? It's going to sound super fucked up. I'm going to tell you something. Like, my dick got hard, and if I had on panties, right? If I was a cross-dressing motherfucker like what Nami told Lola that she was actually a man in a woman's body, my panties would get wet. Like, I love stuff like that because it just goes back to what I said. Like, Oda probably can't write a novel, but if he had someone who could actually write his words for him, and if Oda just gave him like a whole bunch of details, like, this is the outline for the story, this is about what I want to happen in each, section of the story, just put it in the words for me, Oda could tell a hell of a story, because the type of stuff that he's doing is the type of stuff that if we were in a literature class or if we were in a graphic novel course, like I took one of those in college a few years ago, probably 2000, God, that wasn't just a few years ago, I want to say 2011, took a graphic novel course, and you see that with very few graphic novelists where they pay attention to small human interactions like that. Oda does this shit to a T, and he does it so well that, like I said, I find myself looking at it as I read these chapters. And if you guys will recall, if you go back to like the Davy back part and just that whole Water 7 Eames Lobby stuff, I kept saying, like, man, like Nico Robin, there's a change occurring. I don't know what's happening, but something's going on with her. And she's seeming like she's warming up to the crew. Now she's being distant. Why is she becoming distant? And Oda nails this shit. Like, I'm really wondering if Oda does research on human psychology and just how the brain works and on how the different lobes, like the frontal lobe, reacts to certain stuff. Because the way his characters react to certain events, there's a science behind it that's rooted in real life, even though this is fiction. So I find that absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That was really beautiful, man. Like, Oda's not my favorite mangaka, but Oda does a lot of nice shit. A lot of nice shit. Like, I'm starting to see why you guys call him Goda or Gada. I don't know which one it is, but I'm starting to understand this shit. Now, the other thing that went on in this chapter, and probably the biggest thing, probably the thing you guys are saying, man, Kryptonian saying that's cool, man. Oda's fucking awesome. Now tell me about this fight. What were your thoughts about this fight between the Straw Hats and Oars? Very cool. Very cool. I laughed my ass off when I saw Franky saying, we're going to dock together. And you got Nico. I'm laughing thinking about this shit. You got Nico Robin saying, it looks embarrassing to me as a human being. And you have like Franky and you have Usopp. They got like the, oh my god, they got the shock face and the lightning in the background. That was fucking awesome. And then you got Robin telling them, don't ever ask to dock with me again. And it's just like, you could flip that around and Oda just put in a dirty joke. Like, that shit is so fucking classic. Then another thing that was pretty fucking cool. This is more Toriyama-like than anything else. Like, Toriyama had a huge penchant in the original Dragon Ball manga and even in parts of Dr. Slump. He would poke fun at stuff like Super Sentai, which is the Power Rangers, and all these other fantasy shonens and shoujos, basically with the bright colors and transformations. The Power Rangers, Super Sentai, they got like the Zords, and they come together, all the different parts, there's one, and they basically formed a fucking pirate Zord. And that shit was so fucking hilarious. As soon as I read that, I picked up on what Oda was doing. And then as I'm thinking, I'm like, is he making fun of the Super Sentai? Is he doing the Toriyama thing, right? Literally, right after I think that to myself, Robin has her panel and she's like, that's embarrassing to me as a human being. I laughed my ass off, and that's a huge part of the reason why. Robin just jumped the fuck up my favorite character list at that point, because it's so fitting that you have this in the same chapter where right before you have the Q&A, and Oda's like, I want to build on the what it means to be human, and you got this. You're seeing Robin's personality. I want more moments like this. She doesn't have to be like full, full out emo or anything. It's not that, but just moments like this where her personality's out. Not the not that little fake smile and shit, and the genuine smiles. Like, I want a personality. I want more of that little girl that we saw on her island. I want more of that. Like, I saw a glimpse of it. That was so fucking beautiful, man. I love that. And it just goes to show you, when it comes to Oda and his understanding on the human psyche, and I'm getting in a fight with this because this is very important for the fight, but one of the things that Oda does with that is he answers an integral question that is key for anybody that writes or you review writing. It's something I learned when I worked as an editorial assistant. I learned that, like, when you read stuff, and by extension when you write, one of the key themes that you need to be asking is, what is the author trying to say about what it means to be human? What is the human experience to this author? It could be a story about dinosaurs and robots, and there's no fucking words exchanged between any of them, right? But the actual story itself, like, what's the main point? Why should you care as a reader? What is the author trying to say about being human, the human experience? And in this, we get a glimpse of it. One of the things Oda's trying to say is the bonds that we form with each other, they're what's going to get us through our trying times, even when we're not in complete control of ourselves, even when we don't know who we are ourselves. And so you have the Straw Hats in the last chapter telling Luffy's shadow, Oars, like, hey, you need to remember who your crew is. And now in this chapter, you see like the little bickering back and forth, but you see so much teamwork. And it's so fitting because I feel like this is probably the best action sequence as that the Straw Hats as a team have put together in the entire One Piece series. And it's so fitting because this is after Enies Lobby. I really love the fact that even Zoro and Sanji, as embarrassing as that shit was, and even Zoro acknowledged that it was embarrassing, even then, they still worked it out together. They went through with Franky's crazy battle strategy to dock and make that Super Sentai knockoff Zord that they had with each of their body parts. And Robin, even then, her relationship with the Straw Hats, she's joking. And then right after that, Franky, he's like, Zoro, you go right ahead. You take my super heavy nunchucks that are made out of the fucking columns. Zoro picks that shit up. He's telling Sanji, he's pushing all the right buttons on him. He's like, give me a boost, Sanji. These two and zombies, they don't like each other. Like, they're all in water, and yet they put their differences aside in order to take down a common enemy. And it's different from the Davy Back arc, when you had them taking on, I can't remember the giant's name, but they're taking on these two really big giants on the Foxy Pirates when they had their matchup. And these two, it was more of a piss contest. There was teamwork, but it was more of a, no, fuck you. You did this, fuck you. I'm going to do this. No, fuck you, you curly-eyed weirdo. Fuck you, you green-headed mosshead, emo-looking punk. Like, it wasn't one of those moments. It was genuine teamwork. Even though Zoro said, hey, what, you're not man enough? Forget it. Even then, I feel like that was more of like big brother, little brother joking with each other. Because Sanji right away says, no, I can handle it, don't worry about it. And he gives Zoro the boost right after Zoro's flying in the air. Usopp's shooting some type of sticky liquid at Oars. It keeps his hand preoccupied. He starts slipping. Zoro gets that nunchuck, clocks his ass. Right before that happens, he's telling Nico Robin, like, I'm going to knock him off balance. You use the flower fruit. You get his ass tied up. Get him out of commission, put him in a submission hole. You got Chopper and Franky. They're coming in. Franky's building a mid staircase, and like, I don't know how the hell logistically that actually works, but this is fiction, so you have to suspend disbelief. But it's going up in the air. Franky's running up. Chopper's on his back. He's building. He says, look, Chopper, this ain't going to hold up for very long. So we need to hurry this up. And then they team up and they punch they punch Oars. And as Franky and Chopper's hit lands, Chopper says, even though you're a zombie, the vital points of a human are all the same. And I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Chopper to do what Tsunade and Kabuto did in part 1 of Naruto, which is they used their medical expertise as a way to actually fight. I was so waiting for that. And to have Chopper, and in a way, like the whole targeting thing that he does, that's kind of the same thing. But this is the first time I can recall where he specifically says, like, no, I'm going after your vital points as a human. You're a human. These are always going to hurt. And one thing that's very particular, because again, this is a graphic novel, this is a manga, and so page space is limited, so you have to be very picky with your words. You can't waste your words. And Oda's really good about this. Is Chopper says if you hit them in the chin, it's going to rattle their brain. Now think about that. It's going to rattle your brain. What's the big thing about these zombies and their shadows? They lose their memories of who they were before. You got Oars saying, I don't remember you. Who are you guys? Okay, your brain got rattled. All of a sudden, brains shifting around, collage, snapshot of memories, collages. All of a sudden, Oars fucking remembers everything. So I love that. I mean, I'm kind of predicting that's going to happen. If it doesn't, whatever. I might have read too much into it. But, you know, Oda, like you guys say, there's no such thing as reading too much into it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, the other thing, and this is more about the human experience, is you got Nami and she's talking to Lola. And Lola's just like, hey, you need to get up out of here. Like, this is what's going on with your captain. This is what Mori is doing. You need to get out of here. Leave Absalom to me. And it's just like, you know, when that dude Absalom wakes up, he's going to be so fucking heated, man. So fucking heated. Like, he literally, oh my fucking God. He literally went from a Corvette to a beat down Chevy Cobalt. Okay? I don't want to say that because now it's going to make it seem, fuck it, I'm not going to, fuck it, I'm just going to be unfiltered. Like, I'm not really into big chicks, man. That ain't really my thing, okay? Like, everybody got their preferences. So, I see Lola, somebody's going to think she's beautiful. That really ain't my shit, okay? And so, when you got, you know, really tight, slim, yet curvy Nami, curves are way out of proportion, but curvy Nami, and then you got, like, Lola. She might have a beautiful personality, but holy fuck, dude, you just downgraded. And I can tell you from my experience, just to keep on with the car analogy, like, for me, like, I remember, like, I'm getting pissed just thinking about this. I had to get rid of my Mustang, and, you know, as you guys know, when I started the channel, I had a broken leg, and you could, especially in the videos where, like, I'm talking the microphone and shit, you can really hear I was on painkillers and all types of shit. Sounded halfway dead. And with some of these reviews, like, I was just in the booted cast and shit. And I look back at those reviews now, those early reviews, and I can tell, like, look dead. There was no energy. It was, like, eyes lifeless. And as you guys know, I went through a bunch of shit during that time. But anyway, I had to get rid of the Mustang because I'm still having issues with my leg. And so I had to downgrade, and I went to a luxury sedan, but there's no power in it. And I'm used to power. Like, I'm used to just flooring it and going. And so it's the same thing here. Like, man, he had his mindset like, I got this beautiful right here. That's my girl. To, oh, like, you got to get on that Alvita diet, man. But with that being said, I love how, once again, we have the human interaction. And then right after that, Nami's just like, I really want to help the crew, but I'm not leaving this place empty-handed. And it's just like Oda just addresses what the fuck I was just talking about in the last chapter review. I said, well, Oda's getting it set up where everything's being put on, this shit for the Straw Hats. Now you have this shit. Nami goes, it's completely empty. She's going to get on the ship, see all that food, see all that treasure. She's going to be happy. She can navigate, get them the fuck out of there. And I think that's huge because I'm not too sure, might be reading too much in this, But some guy shows up at the end when Perona is just looking. She's like, I just want to join Moria because I thought it was cool. But fuck that, I gotta get out of here. And some guy shows up and he's like, where's Moria? And the way he's drawn, he doesn't have the Navy gear on. But I got like that, I was like, is this another admiral? And then I remembered, I said, wait a second, there's 3 admirals. And I don't remember there being an admiral in this area. So that's interesting. So I don't know who this guy is, but he's drawn in a way that he has a presence. And so I don't know if he's really powerful. I don't know if he's fucking fodder. You know, Oda, this might be Panda Man, okay? Like, we don't know what Oda, but I'm not too sure what to make of this guy. And I'm wondering if he is powerful, if he's going to be probably who takes out Moria. I don't think this is going to be a situation where somebody like this joins Luffy's crew, but you got to think of it like this. Moria is probably running really, really high. He's one of the warlords. But also, you got a lot of pirates. They've probably lost their shadows over the years. Crews have been decimated. People know to avoid this area or avoid this ship. I mean, it's got to be running high. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a bounty hunter or something. So my chapter question to you guys is going to be something very specific. There was this scene where Nico Robin looks up at Oars, and she said after Luffy's shadow Oars does the gum gum butt drop, okay, and basically jumps up in the air, smashes his ass all over the place. You have Nico Robin saying, I don't want a guy like this to become king of the pirates. And on the opposite end, you have the parallel where Perona is saying, I just joined because I thought it would be fun. So my question is, with all that context added, my question is, what do you think Oda was trying to accomplish right there? Because that's not done by mistake. And I know this is a longer review than usual, so just bear with me. But the reason why I don't think that was done by mistake is Nico Robin believes Luffy can be king of the pirates. I think when she joined the crew, she knew there was something special about his ass. But I think she firmly believes he can be king of the pirates. Whereas you got Perona, I don't think she believes Moria can pull this off. I just think that, you know, she's kind of doing like what I did after I broke up with my last girlfriend. I just talked to a few people to pass the time. Nothing serious. It was understood it was nothing serious. And I'm thinking that's what's happening. But let me know, do you guys think that's what Oda's going for? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.